So what I'm going to do now is I want to do the same kind of thing. I'm going to mask it in reverse. So I actually have reverse of what I cut before. And I'm going to just place that here. Need some tape to hold it in place. You just tape it up here. Doesn't really matter because down here the girl will be overlapping. There will be some little problems that I'll have to figure out how this area here is going to be handled. It could be grass, it could be like a slope. You can see that I'm sort of suggested kind of an ocean off in the background. There is a sun right up here, and I'm going to just sort of indicate the sun. Doesn't have to be perfectly drawn. I don't really care if it's not a perfect circle. So I think the moon is going to go down here, and there will be some reflection on the water, so there will be kind of a nice interplay that will be happening in here. I'm going to mask this out even more because I actually don't even want to see this right now. Even tape that into place. I just want to concentrate on what I'm going to do with just this one strip here mainly. And I want to establish some of that in here. And even in here. So I want to have some warm stuff happening in around here. And I think I'm going to do another sponge treatment for this guy. It can be a nice fast way to establish large areas. These are the colors that are very watery. There's my big sponge, and I'm just going to come in and I want to get some of that kind of a greeny sky happening in here. Oh boy, good. Yeah, okay. I want to get a little bit of this white and a little bit of the yellow happening up in here. Little weird accidents happen. Let's not be too worried about it. Remember, with paint, proceed with courage. Let's have a little yellow down here. Let's see what that looks like. Whoa. Okay, let's do some of this. All in the interest of contrast. Remember, there is a night sky under this, and we're going to pull this back, reveal it. So now might be a good time to just touch up some of these areas. That's why I'm touching up with the brush right now. So it's time to unmask. Unmask the picture. Take the mask off. We'll probably have to resolve what's going to go down here because I think the girl, just a little bit, it could almost be even more yellow. You can see that I've sort of suggested plant life here. There will be an ocean. Do I like the sky the way it is? It's a little bit too grainy yet, I think. So I will be just reducing the graininess, and I think I may increase the contrast to the sun up here. But maybe not to be in such a hurry. You know what? For now, I'm going to leave it. When you have a passage that bothers you, and you think, oh my God, I can't live with that, I've got to fix it. Let it stay, because you can put a whole lot of effort into fixing it, and you can actually lose something that's really of value. These are the cutouts. These will be eventually painted and cut out. But what I need to do, these lines are too strong. They're going to show up. They're not going to look very good. So what I want to do is just use this off-white. I love this very, very practical color. I use it a lot. And I'm just going to go over these lines. I'm going to subdue them because I don't want them to show up the way they do. I want to reduce them. There might be areas of tone too that will be a little bit too dark. Like say, for instance, here, this whole area of her face, just too much. So I'm going to touch up here and there, reduce these lines, push them back. I want to kind of eliminate a lot of it to free me up for the next kind of painting, which again is going to be kind of free and easy. I do want to minimize all of this stuff. I want to really push it back a bit. I will keep some of the areas of white, of course. I can even do further underpainting if I want to. I can come in with a gray or a warm tone. The underlying tones, if I want to adjust those a little bit, I can always do that. But for now, this is what I want to do. I just sort of want to eliminate a lot of the tone that the printer has given me. Okay, we're ready to assemble one of the cutouts. So this is what the horse cutout looks like. It's going to go right in position here. I know exactly where I want it to go. And then the rider goes on top of him. The rider is going to look like that. That's what it's going to look like if I don't alter it at all. And I'm tempted. Okay, so the cutout is taped in place. I'm now going to glue it. I'm going to start in the middle. So I'm going to start right here in the middle and work towards the ends. Okay, so we just start with the gloss medium. You want to use the gloss medium for the gluing because it adheres much better than the matte medium. And I'm just going to start with a fairly narrow band of glue to begin with. Now I need to get paper towel, and I just put it over where I have glued, and just use my hands. I can use a little roller like this. Roll it back and forth to distribute the glue evenly. If it seeps out of the edges, it's likely to do, then you just mop it up, especially if it's the gloss medium. Okay, so I can take this tape off now. I have to be really careful here because the paper is still a little wet, so I'm stripping it off. Damn it! We have a minor disaster. Okay, so this is what I've got. What am I going to do? We will not get into a panic until we see what the overlay looks like. So the overlay will go right here. Like that. Okay, so we can see. So that's what the overlay is going to look like. We just have to fix this. That means, first of all, some matte medium, and then I'll just start painting away to match whatever it is that I want. It's just a matter of resurfacing the paper. I should have waited for that paper to dry better. So this is the Headless Horseman. But he will have a head soon. I wanted to show you this. You know, it looks underpainted. I'm kind of doing that deliberately because so much energy already created in the background. The horse has a lot of energy. You know, what am I going to do now? Crank it up and have his face compete with all the other energy? I don't think so. Probably better to push back on it and relax it a little. So I'm going to cut this out. We're going to see what that looks like. Here he is, just temporarily. It's not glued down yet. There's a piece of glass over this to eliminate the shadow so I can see it accurately. And you can see how the face is sort of flattened and relatively mild in character. And that's the way I want to keep it for now. It's all going to depend on what happens when we do her. So her expression, her mood, state of mind is going to influence what he looks like, I think. And here we go. We've got this and this. They're still loose. I'm going to be gluing them down now, but we're getting very close to the end now. I thought you might want to see this gluing again. Remember the last time we had this minor catastrophe right here? Well, I fixed it. I'm going to glue her. We have the disembodied head waiting. He will be glued in place. Let's do her. I'm going to start, she's long. I'm going to start right in the middle with the gloss medium, using that as a glue. This stuff, once it dries, is there. It's permanent. You cannot remove it. It is a molecular bond with the paint. Gesso, all of that stuff, it's all part of the same molecular bond. So it's there. Here. Okay, now we can take the tape off because it's tacked. Take this off. Well, here we have the finished product. So remember we were saying that this was a two-part enterprise? The Reader, this is the Reader 2, and I was starting this from the premise of it being controlled because there was going to be cutouts and so on. If you can recall, I started with the background very loose and noisy. We still held on to a lot of that. I wanted to keep that sort of underlying excitement, but at the same time, the shapes, the individual components of the picture were painted independently and then glued into place. Anyway, so this is the second version. Just by contrast, here is the first one. I say it was drawn from memory because it all started with a pencil drawing, and I decided to go this route. So this was the Reader 1. So playing with an idea, playing twice with an idea. And it could carry on almost to infinity. You could keep doing variations on the Reader, right? All sorts of them in terms of not only the composition, but other ingredients, all sorts of variations, I suppose. And some artists have done that kind of thing in their career. I don't. Why? Because move on to the next idea. There is an element of compulsion that can enter the picture too. I could keep working on this thing. At a certain point, I have to say, that's it. I'm done. Go on to the next idea.